Hello and welcome to all our viewers from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC here for Gold Learning. And with me today, we have a special guest, and it is Ruth Hammond. Welcome, Ruth Ann. It's so lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and your audience.
It's wonderful to have you. You are one of our speakers for the Gold Early Years Symposium of 2022. That's coming up in just a little while, just around the corner, basically. And we'll talk about your presentation that you'll have with us in just a minute. Ruth Ann, I would like to introduce you to our viewers here. You're an educator. You're also an author. I know you have a book titled Respecting Babies, a guide to caring for parents and professionals. I love that title. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh my goodness. I am a professional baby freak.
I love that.
I wrote a poem about myself once, a 6-word poem. It says, "Give me them babies, I'll watch them." But I've spent about the last 25 or almost 30 years practicing the resources for infant educators approach that Magda Gerber taught me. She was my mentor, and I discovered this way of being with babies in a very respectful way when I was pregnant with my first child, who is now the father of my 2 grandchildren. And I taught at Pacific Oaks College and Children's School for 17 years after I got my master's degree there in infant and toddler development, human development. And I spend a lot of time with parents and their infants and toddlers, helping parents appreciate the wonders of their own children.
Oh, that sounds absolutely lovely. Appreciating the wonders of their own children. How beautiful that sounds there as well. And thank you for sharing your background. And I want to, before you and I were here on camera, we had a little chat before, and I know I need to go there because it's one of my loves too. You were actually a dancer in your previous career, right? You have a bachelor's degree in dance, and that is where you told me that earlier on, your love for movement is coming from. And I can only imagine how important that movement is also for the little ones, right? I mean, it's therapeutic for adults and little ones, the like, but a lot in the development we can see in the little ones through movement. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Oh my goodness. Well, that was one of the things that really drew me to what Magda Gerber was teaching. She brought to the U.S. all of this knowledge of the research that Dr. Emmy Pickler did in Budapest on the natural movement development of infants. And it's not as widely known that you don't have to help babies learn how to do anything. They can learn to roll over by themselves. They can learn to sit up by themselves. They actually crawl before they sit up if they're not prompted to sit up sooner than they can get themselves there. So I guess as a dancer, what I saw in the babies who had been facilitated in this way was incredible grace and efficiency of movement and beauty. So that drew me in. And then there was, a whole lot of other stuff that came with it.
Absolutely. It sounds beautiful how you described this right now. That was absolutely beautiful the way you said that. Now, talking about your presentation, and this is a curious title to me, and I absolutely love it. And I need to get more information from you because your title for the presentation is Laying the Foundation for Self-Disciplines with Infants and the Very Young. Self-discipline, that is something, we all as adults, we're told we need it, right? It's important, but at such a young age. So tell me a little bit about this. I'm very curious about this. Can self-disciplines be taught at such a young age?
No. Basically, no, except that accept that how we care for them and the experiences we provide for them and the sensitivity of our relationship with them
Mhm.
is what sets them up to be able to pay attention to their own promptings and what's coming at them from outside. And what we're trying to do is promote intrinsic motivation. So we're not telling them what they need to do. We're providing for them the care that they need, the responsiveness that they need, and then their nervous system can grow in a way that makes it easy to regulate their feelings. So a lot
Mm.
of what we call self-discipline later on is really about, what do you call it? Delayed gratification,
Mhm.
right? So we're not asking babies to delay gratification. What we're actually trying to do is to gratify them. And by meeting their needs and letting them be settled in their bodies, then they will be ready to take on more and more challenges, self-chosen challenges, and challenges of being in the world, um, in a way that allows them to succeed.
Mhm. That sounds wonderful. So self-discipline, as the word says, from the inside, to give them the care and the tools and the so they can develop the confidence in themselves, and then it is a development from the inside out, not us telling them, you don't do this, you don't do that, but rather than especially at that young age, right, giving them the care and the nurturing, so they feel safe, they feel um then ready to develop their own skills, right? Is that what it sounds like to me? Is that correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes, it sounds
Exactly.
absolutely fabulous. And so this is a little bit of a different parenting or teaching approach that we many of us grew up with, especially the older generations, where it was still the parents or teachers tell the kids this what to do, and the kid is quiet and has to just absorb the knowledge and repeat it, or is acting then according, or supposed to act according to what was taught. And this approach is different, right? It sounds to me fantastic because I can see that this is so much healthier and so much better for the development for children, and will have long lasting effects for the rest of their lives.
Mm, yes, and I don't want it to sound like that there's never a time when you need to set limits with young
Right,
children,
right.
right? So it's figuring out how to do that in a way that preserves their curiosity and their self-esteem and their impulse to satisfy their own curiosities and whatnot. But that, there are limits involved.
Right, right, for their own safety, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and of course there need to be certain limits. Yes, but there's also a lot of curiosity allowed, and learning that way through that. That sounds beautiful. I know you will be sharing some videos in the presentation as
Mhm.
well, and there were some very beautiful things. I had a sneak peek. I have to tell the audience, So you will actually show what that looks like in action, right?
Mhm. Mhm. I
Absolutely.
will. We'll have. There's a nice video of a diaper change. There's a
Mm.
video of a baby playing on the mat. There's a video of a mom comforting or intervening when her infant is having some discomfort.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have a few things.
Beautiful. So there's a lot to look forward to in this presentation. So before I let you go, Ruth Ann, some last final words here for our audience. Anything that you are hoping they would take away from your presentation?
Well, one of the things that I'll touch on, and it's a very big topic, and it could be delved into for semesters at a time, but I am going to talk just a little bit about Alan Shore's regulation theory and
Mhm.
how it interfaces with attachment theory. So there will be a little bit of neuroscience, not a whole lot, but
Fascinating. I am so looking forward to this presentation, Ruth Ann.
I'm looking forward to it too. And thank you so much for supporting it.
And thank you so much for spending time here with me and chatting. And it was such a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you, Kristen. I'll see you soon.
And now this is like a little information for our viewers. If you are interested to find out more about this presentation and the other presentations of the Gold Early Years Symposium 2022, please visit goldlearning.com. These are 2 days full of wonderful presentations, just like Ruth Ann's here. Go to the website to find out more, and you will find out all the times there. All the presentations will be live, but of course, they will also be recorded if you can't attend live. That's it for today. Thank you again, Ruth Ann, for visiting here, and thank you to all our audience. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.